Kneeling down on the job. That's a different video. All right, so here we go from the kneeling position. First exercise we're going to do is just a kneeling chop. So he's set up. He can come away from the lead leg, which is going to pull him one direction. He can come toward the lead leg. This one's a safer one coming to the lead leg, just because the hip is blocked to help protect the low back. A little rotation through the shoulders. The wider he sets his feet, because he has a little bit of room on this pad, he's going to have a better base of support. If he brings his knee right behind that front heel, it becomes really tricky. Also, if he shortens the space behind his heel with that knee, he reduces that base. So we talk about base as a variable. That's a rotation of the arms. Next one, show him the rotation coming the opposite way. So here, he has to let the hip slide. So this one can be tricky for people with back or hip issues, but it's really good for people who don't present to get them to sit into this glute, be able to let that slide away. That's the only way you can counterbalance that movement, but it's a really good hip driver. Next thing we have is overhead reach. So it's just pretty simple, getting a nice stretch in that trail hip flexor. He's sitting up where he feels comfortable. A little mobilization up here in the front ankle. This is just a traditional kind of ankle roll, open up upper trunk, squeezing those shoulder blades at the top, heads in line. Just basic, but it adds a level of balance and coordination at the bottom. We're going to do lateral reach now, single arm lateral reach. So he can come toward the ground. See, when he travels that way, his hips got to come this way. When he travels this way, his hip has to counterbalance that way. So he can look at different points that he might want to go high, mid, low, just really working to stabilize and stay on that nice and controlled, nice and smooth. Up and down. So we'll talk about level change. So he comes up and he comes down. Now he brings his knee closer to his heel. He comes from there. Now there's more of a driver on his dorsiflexion in the front ankle. A little bit more quad dominant, gets that VMO firing a little bit more. And now what we'll do is we'll set up where he feels comfortable. And I'm going to have him change tempos. Remember, one of our stage setters. So come up quick, come down slow. Yeah, nice. Come up really slow. Good, own it at the top. Come down quick. Own that. Good. So just by changing tempos, it changes everything. Now, I'm going to change his drivers. Cross your hands across the front of your chest. Yep. And just let your arms rest right down on your, I'm not even giving you that for a counterbalance. So now, come up slow, quick. Good. Come up slow and then switch to quick when I say quick. Come down slow, quick, slow. And so we can mess with him all sorts of ways we want, but that reduces his ability to take his arms to counterbalance. Now, in this position, we can add little implements. So once you get it with your body weight, use your drivers. Now we can come in and take a basic little implement. We could use a medicine ball. I'm giving him a basketball, soccer ball. I think most of you guys would have that. This is just what we call kind of a slingshot. Now he can take and he can reach and come back and like just move a little bit through those, not too much, but he gets that little bit of motion where he comes in and around. He'll reverse directions on that. Good. So he can play with that as he wants to play with that. Also, we can use a medicine ball. We love Dynamax. Try that. That gives him a little load, a little trunk load. So now just, yep. There you go. So now he's reduced his range. He's reduced the open space. He's got to drag it across his body, which pushes him in different directions. Let's go with a halo. So around the head. Yep. So getting some nice shoulder warmth. He's bringing that elbow right up over his head to open up the shoulders, the upper trunk. But obviously there's a balance effect that's happening at his hips and down at his feet. So if he brings his feet really close together, his knee and his, when he changes that, he's going to get a little bit of a different dynamic there. If he lifted up his back toe off the table, So there's all sorts of little things that make it harder. Last one, we don't do this a whole heck of a lot. This one, he's just going to try to lift that front foot, use this glute, use that hip flexor, and then set it down. And then he can make it like a running pattern. So, when he lifts that front knee, that goes back. So he's mimicking that running pattern, but I'll tell you what, it's challenging. We don't do it a ton, especially with people that have issues with their patellar tendons, but it's a great way just to activate the hips, great way to activate balance. So, those are just some things that you guys can do from the kneeling position. You can add implements, obviously both legs forward. Use your tools, have fun with it.